Welcome back to the studio. Today we're going to talk about installing a cartridge in your brand new Pocket 6 fountain pen or rollerball. As some of you may know, the fountain pen Pocket 6 can also come in a configuration that utilizes a rollerball tip. Both of these use a standard short international cartridge. The way you install these cartridges is quite simple, but it can be daunting for a newbie. That's why I've made this video. Let's dive in. Okay, so on the back side of a fountain pen or a rollerball P6, you are gonna see there's a little nubby plastic piece protruding out of the back of the nib unit housing or the rollerball unit housing. And the way you install a cartridge is by aligning the cartridge and the ball with that little nubbin and pressing firmly. So you see here, we align these two, kind of get them set up, and then we push it in like that. Sometimes it can be a little more stubborn than that, and then sometimes what I like to do is I give it a little spin to make sure it's seated correctly, and I push it firmly. This is basically ready to go. Let's do it with the rollerball as well for good measure. All right, we got the little nub in there. Kind of make sure that that's lined up. Pop, pressurizes it in there, give it a little rotation, we're good to go. So both of these tips are now ready to write. If you were working with a fountain pen and you wanted it to start flowing ink, what some people like to do is they like to put the cap on and leave it in a drinking glass or a ball jar for a couple minutes just so that the ink can start to flow through the feed and saturate so it's ready to write. With the rollerball, same thing. You want to leave it for a little bit so it saturates the feed and then it's pretty much ready to go. No need to, scratch it on the paper or bang on it. It's just, it just takes time because it's a capillary action that causes that ink to flow through to the front of the tip of the pen. Okay, so my P6 has been sitting nibbed down in a test tube holder for a couple minutes because I couldn't find a ball jar or a cup, but I have these handy test tube holders. Let's give this a rate. And there you have it. We are ready to go. I swear I didn't cheat. This is, just a minute hanging out like that. And the rollerball unit actually, this thing doesn't take as long because the feed is, the feed takes less time than the fountain pen. So that's basically ready to go and you're ready to use your P6. Let's talk about a couple things that could go wrong during this process. Okay, so I've gone ahead and taken out the cartridges that we just installed and I grabbed some fresh cartridges here. These orange ones have a little bit of air in them, so it's a little bit easier to see what's kind of going on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this, but I'm gonna intentionally not do it on center. I'm gonna push it a little off center and I'm gonna try and install it and it's not gonna go, right? It's not gonna go in there. And what I've done is I've actually, let's zoom in here a little bit. I've actually probably damaged the plastic where the ball sits. I'm gonna go ahead and try it again. I'm gonna make sure I really mess this up because I want you to see what will happen. So again, I'm doing this off center. I'm trying to push. Okay, eventually I did get it, but as you can see, that plastic is a bit mangled. That opening is a little rough. It's kind of tricky to see, but right there, it's kind of dented in instead of being a clean opening. So what that's gonna do is if I were to actually install this and try and use the pen, and go ahead and put this on here, that opening and that dent that we had there might allow a little bit of air to seep in through the cartridge into the back of the cartridge and would cause the fountain pen to oversaturate with ink very quickly. We might even see it here. Sometimes it takes time. It's really dependent on how big of a hole you put in the side of the cartridge. But sometimes what that can do, again, is allow air into the back of the cartridge and that'll cause a big leak. Because if there's no vacuum in here, the fountain pen will not function correctly. We really only want air to go in at the rate that the feed designed it to go into the pen. Okay, so that's what you gotta watch out for with these. If you do damage a cartridge like this, it's kind of a shame, but this cartridge probably is best to be put in the trash and move on to another one and go ahead and attempt that again. All right, so there you have it. That's how you install your cartridge in your new P6 fountain pen or rollerball. I hope you had success. I hope you didn't ruin too many cartridges. If you did, it's kind of part of the learning process here. Leave a message in the comments if you have anything to say about this process, or if you learned something, or if you want me to reshoot this video and add in some more details, feel free. I'm here for you all. So have a great day. Thank you so much for supporting my work, and enjoy your new fountain pen. Cheers.